With a 27-year career spanning nationally recognized work in branding, design, and commercial photography, Reggie Tidwell has built a reputation for helping businesses and organizations not just connect with their audiences, but often inspire real change in the world. Reggie has a passion for projects that make a positive impact on our communities, and his leadership extends far beyond his agency. He is the founding president of AIGA Asheville and now serves on the organization's national board. That's awesome. Closer to home, he also serves on the board of Arts Asheville. Please join me in welcoming Reggie Tidwell.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome, Jason. Just want to make sure you guys can hear my voice. Am I projecting loud enough? So I can go mic free?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Welcome. Thank you for being here. We're going to do a workshop today, and this workshop is not about predicting tomorrow. It's more about agility, clarity, and bold moves today. All right? I think too often we spend our whole, there we go. We spend a lot of time chasing goals that we set for ourselves, and we get the blinders on and we are hyper focused to that trajectory. We're going to hit that target. But oftentimes, because we're so tunnel vision, we don't, man, that light is bright. We're so tunnel vision that we don't actually see some opportunities that might actually be in our periphery because we are channeling down the path. And then what happens if we hit a roadblock? We can't really, we're not set up to course correct, be able to make agile moves and be nimble. And so it keeps us a little short-sighted. So today we're going to go through some activities to help you open up. And it's going to be about forgetting the future and remembering the vision. I actually had to do that recently myself. I've been, as Jason said, I've been in business for many years. For my business, Curve Theory, 24 years. And of course, I had it all set. I had my trajectory set. This is what I'm doing. But what you realize when you have a family and you have goals that are, monetary goals, financial goals, and you're a solopreneur, you have a ceiling. Every time I would get up from my computer and walk away, everything would come to a crashing halt. Nothing's getting done. So I had to rethink everything. And this guy right here, my business partner, Tim Scroggs, we were 40 Hearts, and this is our designer, Dylan, who's amazing. We started 2 years ago working out together. And we had these really deep conversations while we were working out about whether we're happy with our business or we're hitting our goals, what's our trajectory. What we learned in those deep conversations were we could be, for family men, we weren't going to get where we needed to be to really support our families. And what's great about having these conversations is that we were able to actually open up to some possibilities that we weren't previously looking into. And so we ended up launching a business that landed a 6-figure project right out of the gate. We're totally crushing it now. All about elevating Asheville's design community, working with only local creatives so we keep all that money right here in our economy. So anyway, that leads me to Embrace, which is actually the first step in our workshop. What's my sweet spot for using this thing so I'm not doing that? Just right at you? Perfect. Thanks, Ian. All right. We embraced that idea. We opened up to it. We were like, you know what? Maybe the way we were going is not the way. So we actually opened ourselves up to other possibilities, and it paid off for us. And so when you embrace something, the first step is embracing agility, possibility, and the courage to shift the path as it changes, as you need to. Nietzsche once said, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how." Let that set in. Things change and shift, and you are flexible. You'll find a way. You'll get there. We are making good time. One of the things that's been really great about having an agency and not being so dialed into this like path is that so many little opportunities have sparked up. Our business grows because we are in this place where, of course, you don't not think about the future. Obviously, you want to make sure that you're going to be good and solid, but you also realize when you're not so focused on a particular trajectory that so many opportunities are popping up all over the place, and our business is thriving because we've been aware of how these things have been happening for us, these big dreams. And so today, I'm going to start you guys off with a really fun exercise. And you like I want you guys to take 2 minutes, and I want you to write down what would your big dream be if there were no limits. If you weren't set to this rigid path, if you had the space to dream, like what would that big dream be for you? What would you want in this life? What would it be? It could be a personal big dream, or it could be a business big dream. But what does that look like for you guys? I don't want you to limit yourself. Just allow yourself to dream off course for a moment. Okay, I'm going to start a timer. Is there anybody that doesn't have a pen and pad? I got you. Okay. Don't limit yourself. Don't. Who else had that? Okay. You know
He's got a
what?
seat next to them.
I'm gonna pass this around. You guys do the next. Adam, welcome.
Yes, you think?
So Tim's gonna be our timer today, and he's gonna set a timer. You tell me when you set it. You guys, everybody's got their pad, paper, or pen and pencil? Awesome, pen, pen. Starting now, we're gonna go 2 minutes, and I want you to write, Adam, we're writing what our big dream is. Don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about if it's unrealistic. Just allow yourself to dream for 2 minutes and get that down on paper for us. And go. Got about 20 seconds. We're writing down our big dream for those of you that just walked in. You had no limitations. What would your big dream be for yourself? So, is there anybody that wants to share what their big dream is? So I can put you on the spot?
Sure.
All right, Alex, what you got?
I want to be an internationally known speaker, author, being able to motivate these different businesses to really stay practical, keep their sales processes, be known as being an impact twin. I want people to call me say, hey, years from now, I'm grateful for you, and out of the blue. I want to go ahead and increase my family line, make sure that my family over there in the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, that they have, resources consistently through my work and through my revenue and things like that. So that's it. I'm short. I want to take care of my mom.
Great victory. It's hard to go after Alex after that.
Okay, I'm a dog trainer. I was an engineer, but my passion when I was stressed out was training my own dogs. So I put so much time and energy into that, I decided to do that as a career. So I would love to have land again where I could have horses and dog kennels, and have a staff where I can actually go back to what I was passionate about and training my working dogs, and maybe be able to travel all over the world to well-known trainers and get back to what I got into it for, the passion of it. So
Okay, that's awesome. And we have time for a couple more. Who else wants to share? Sherry.
I would like to live healthily on a healthy earth, healthy planet, where everything we do is health approved or earth approved, So there are no toxins and all the ecosystems are restored and we know how to live on the planet in a healthy way.
Man, I sign up for that.
My name's Stefan. I want to help families navigate the horrors of losing a child to cancer by creating spaces to help them process their grief, find renewed meaning, and come to a place of thriving with joy. And I wanted to help do this with my wife in the most beautiful settings in the world and have it cost nothing for the families who come.
I didn't close at home. I had a kid who had leukemia, and thankfully, 2.5 years of treatment, she's totally fine. But we weren't told. Thank you for that. 2 more minutes. All right. Who else wants to share? I'm loving these dreams. These are great. Yes, sir.
So I'd like to, my name's Tyler, by the way,
Hey, Tyler.
and I would like to grow my current company to over 100 franchise locations around the country, be a well-known name, but do that by people-centric focused growth. And then after finishing that and selling that off, I would like to just dive into the construction aspect of life. I've always liked to build, and I love tinkering with stuff, so I'd love to eventually just build a whole bunch of things and create through building.
I love that.
Right.
That is awesome. Yeah,
Just throw this out there.
bring it.
Global DJ and house music producer. With a brand behind me. Yeah, and a digital record label.
Yes. Maybe a couple. Yes.
Hi, I'm Joyce Ndea, and I am with the Swananoa Resilience Hub. We are a long-term recovery group that provides resources and disaster case management to Hurricane Helene survivors in Swananoa. We also have a brick and mortar that is going to be one of the greatest resilient hubs in our area, where folks can come and find joy, fun, and also access resources in a very difficult benefit and resource system. And so the dream is to be able to help as many people as we can, while also being sustainable and making sure, and one day saying all of the Hurricane Helene survivors are thriving. That is the goal.
That is a great. All right, guys. So we're going to move into another really fun exercise that I call DAP. All right. Life doesn't always go as planned. And what I'd like for you guys to do is talk about, I want you to pair up, maybe ideally with the way our seating is, probably the person directly next to you. So hopefully everybody has a partner. And I want you guys to talk about, just kind of get to know each other a little bit and talk about how maybe some things in life haven't gone quite as planned for you. So I'm going to set a timer. We're going to do a 5-minute timer. And I want you guys to spend some time. I don't think so. I'm going to as I lied. Now you actually have, now I want you to switch. Yeah, and I want you to spend 2 minutes getting to know the next person. So switch for me. Sorry, guys.
I didn't swim.
First time. Yeah. So, I think our promise was going to come out.
All right, so you guys found out I was a liar. But how did it feel to get cut off mid-sentence? You guys were given a time, right? It was annoying. But what did you do? Did you adapt? Did it change the way you answer your questions? It's cheating. But did you change the way you approached
Yeah.
your speaking? Did you start getting right into it fast? You adapted, right? Changed. You were able to rise to the occasion because you were realizing the rules were changing. So that's what we're talking about, right? That's what happens in business. You don't know what's ahead. You don't know what's on your trajectory that you haven't seen because it's untold, right? So awesome. Thank you for bearing with me on that. I know it was frustrating. I thought about it when I created that, and I was like, man, this is really good. Because I love to talk. So I hope you guys at least got to know enough of each other that it'll continue the conversation as you move between events today. So that brings us to there's like a delay or something. To realign. You guys, this is the next step in the exercise in our workshop today is realign. When the path gets chaotic and the only way forward, sometimes the only way forward is to realign with what matters. Your purpose that you've set. And so that brings me to another fun exercise that I want to do for you guys. And there's no surprises here. I promise you. I really do promise you. Hopefully you can trust me on that. I want you guys to think about your values. What do you stand for? What is it that you stand for? What is it that you protect, right? What's important to you? What are those things that you protect in your life at all costs? I want you to use your pens and your pads, and I want you to write what that is for you. Also, what is it that you crave in this moment, right? We're all... I'm guessing everybody in here either has a business or wants a business or works for a business. We have things that we crave personally, but we also have things that we crave within our professional world. So jot those things down on your notepad, and I'm going to give you 2 minutes of writing. Tim's going to set a timer for me, and let's go now. If you're having trouble with it, you have to name 2 or 3 things that you value most in life. Just, you can jot that down. All right, time's up, guys. All right, so I want you guys to think about what came up for you. I want you to spend 3 to 4 minutes each. I want you to pair share. It could be easy. It could be the same person you were talking to earlier at the start of the last exercise. But take 3, we'll set a timer for each and we'll tell you when to switch, but take some time and share what came up for you. What are those things that you value most? And maybe even think of like where you may have drifted from those things that you protect, those things that matter most to you. Where in your life have you found yourself drifting away from that and losing focus of it? So I'll set a timer now and want you guys to pick a partner and share a little.
Sure. Yeah.
It's really easy to send anything for time. Authenticity, using my time as I want to. Since I always say this to my goals, having money and not having to think about money. And but really, like purpose, like function, make meaning, really in life, something that's important or spending.
Go ahead and switch.
Like I want to grow into something nice, but that still has the same frequency that it always has. Like I don't want it to not lose its identity, but I want it to be something that is better.
All right, guys, that's time. Thank you so much. I'm going to start talking. We'll be talking together.
So I'm sure you probably had some themes that were common amongst each other. I'm sure you guys are realizing you're getting stuck in some similar places. Did it feel like you guys had drifted away from some of the things that you held true? Raise your hands if that was coming up for you. Yeah. All right. So, based on what you guys have been learning today, what you've been taking in, what you've been sharing, what would be your next bold move? You know, you've come up with a dream, right? You've got your big dream, some great dreams in the room. Sometimes to acquire that dream, to get there, it's not about rushing and coming up with a whole roadmap to get there immediately and just rushing through it. Sometimes it just takes that first step, that first big, bold move. So I want you guys to take a couple minutes and write down what your bold move would be, what that next step is. Not about a 10-year plan, not about even a 5-year plan. It's about setting yourself up for momentum so you can move with grace from one step to the next. But you've got to take that one step. So take a moment and think about it and write down what that next bold step is for you. We'll set a 2-minute timer. Got it. And go. Bold move could be an experiment, could be a conversation, be a creative leap, could be a phone call, could be any number of things. About 1 minute. I like how so many of you are looking up at me already. You already know what your bold move is. That's impressive. I like it. Poised and ready. Ripe with ambition. Anybody still writing? All right. So now when you take a couple minutes and come up with something that you need to do, it could be a mantra, promise, a truth, something that will help remind you of your move, of your path, of your vision. Like, what is it that you can remember along the way that can help realign you? Mantras are so great because a lot of times when we get thrown off course and the world gets loud and busy and chaotic, like it is right now, probably for all of us, you have to have something that snaps you back to your path, right? And whatever that thing is, it's good sometimes to have it written down, sometimes just to internalize it so that you actually can come to it wherever you are. So just take a couple minutes and write down what that thing is you need to remember along the way to help you remember your vision. So it's 2 minutes. Anybody still writing? All right, great. I want to take a moment to talk about a personal friend of mine who actually had to change their trajectory. They had to be flexible and open up to what I would consider a pretty large sort of change. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, I'm sure many of you are in Asheville, and certainly if you're vegetarian, Rosetta Star. So many of you probably know this. It was a wild story. But Rosetta, of course, after Helene, in the aftermath of Helene, like many restaurants who were, without water, without power, who were wondering how they were going to keep their doors open because they couldn't serve food, they couldn't actually serve the community. Some of them had to close their doors, which is so tragic. Rosetta received a large truck of meat. So for those of you who don't know, Rosetta's is a vegan vegetarian restaurant. And his truck pulls up with a bunch of food. Now, of course, Rosetta could have been like, no, I am a vegan vegetarian restaurant. No way, no how. But she also thought about her community. She thought about her employees, her business, her thriving business. It's been around for over 20 years, like 25 years. And she was bold. She actually brought the meat in. She cooked the meat. Of course, she had separate places so she could cook the meat in one place and the vegetarian stuff in another place. But that single bold move, and of course, you're not going to always have fans. You're not going to, like, everybody's not going to cheer you on. There was she took a lot of heat. But I can tell you one thing, she's still open. She would have had to close her doors. I talked to her personally about her financial situation, and it is undeniable. She would have had to close her doors if she did not make that move. And what was really great is that she actually was serving. She had a system set up where you could pay whatever you could or nothing and come in and get some food during the aftermath of it, which is huge. So not only was she thinking about her community and how to feed her community in this time of need for everybody, she was really thinking about, letting go of a big dream that needed to change or shift. And I applaud her for that. I think that was pretty amazing. So today, guys, we have embraced courage and agility by dreaming without limits. You guys all did that. I heard it. You were able to adapt when plans shifted. I know it was annoying, but you guys were given a goal, and then somehow the goal changed, and you guys had to adapt. You had to shift and figure out how to get what you needed to say out, and because you had no idea what was coming ahead, just like in life, just like in business. You were able to realign with your values. You were able to go back to what mattered most to you and think about it and share it. That's huge. And then you were able to evolve by naming your big, bold move, your next step, the thing that's going to help create some momentum for you. So this is exactly what Forgetting the Future is all about. It's about living in the moment. It's about not saying the future doesn't matter. It's about saying the now matters more. What I'm doing in this very moment is the thing that's setting the momentum for me. It's where all my energy is coming from, and it is what gets me from step A, step B, step C. And so I applaud you all for coming here today and doing that. The future is untold, but by allowing yourself to remain nimble, agile, flexible, looking for those opportunities in your periphery that you would not see otherwise if you're burrowing ahead with no ability to shift. You guys have embraced the challenge, which I absolutely love. So I would love to invite some of you to share what your next bold move is. Raise your hands. Let's get out. Let's inspire each other. Alex again.
Somebody has to
kick it off.
Not have a bold move and not be the first one to make the bold move. Anyways,
Brandon.
I'm gonna finish my book. My mantra is, and I got this from one of my mentors. It's not about how much money you make; it's about who you become as you make the money. And that was one of the biggest things because, I'm still focused on, instead of focusing on what I have and focusing on the blessings and focusing on what I'm pursuing, it's more about who I'm becoming as I'm getting those things. And even if I do not have it, who am I? And so I'm writing a book on that. And my goal is to finish that by my mom's birthday, January 18th. I started it yesterday. So I'll write more of it today. So I'm going to finish that. And when I was talking with my business coach and we're planning this thing out, I'm going to launch it by January 18th. I'm going to go ahead and have a couple speaking engagements already regarding that. I'm going to do a Black Friday already pre-sale. And then I'm going to do a Christmas sale. And then I'm going to already do a New Year sale because everybody wants to be, a new person in the new year. But it's not about to me, in life, it's not about just, it's not about having something, because anyone can have something. It's about maintaining what you have. That's the bigger thing. And so that's where I really want to push that forward. And I'm not gonna, let anything stop me between now and then.
I love that. But what's your next one step? You
To write. To finish writing today.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
So I've been around the music industry for 30 years, and I tried to become a producer many years ago, and life kind of got in the way. But I took the step 3 weeks ago to start making music in Suno AI, and I made 3 tracks, got one to SoundCloud, distributed through DistroKid, and I already have 4,000 spins on those tracks. And I'm not worried about, just like Rosetta wasn't worried, can't worry about what people are gonna say. I'm not worried about whether people argue whether AI music is good or not good, or whatever they wanna say about it. I'm just doing it because I wanna build a catalog of music that I can A, promote, and B, leave a legacy for my son so he can inherit something down the road that's intellectual property.
That's it. Yes. Oh, yes. Is that Angie?
Yeah.
Hey, Angie.
So I have a longstanding client that over the years, their values and my values have really diverged. And in looking at my values, I realized that my next bold move is to fire them.
Nice. Sounds like a necessary move, but that's a bold move.
Well, and I wanted to say it like out loud in front of all these people. So
Well, he will now hold you accountable. You gotta follow through with it. Thanks, Angie. That's awesome. Who else? Yes.
Right. I run a web design agency, and my next big move is essentially to tell my story more.
Okay.
I find that maybe 20 or 30% of my business I'm consulting, and that's when I find my flow state. That's when I'm actually helping somebody and essentially being an executive assistant to them. And then the other 70, 80, I'm actually executing and doing the work. So being able to put more of my life into the consulting and my flow state and telling my story and what I've done, good and bad, more consistent.
That's inspiring. I like that. That is great. Is there anybody in here that's afraid to share? I see a lot. There's a lot of people in this room. We've heard like 3, 4 stories now. Who else is in here that?
Right here.
All right. All right.
Okay,
Bring it.
Raise
This,
my
this
hand.
is your. Right now.
My dream is to build a gym here. It's gonna be exclusive, luxury, the place you want to be. You want to go there every day and build your community there and make your connections there. And oh, this is scary.
It can be, right? But the beauty of it, and yeah, the beauty of it in forgetting the future and remembering the vision is that you aren't having to think this whole thing out all at once. You want to have some planning, obviously, but being able to think about that next step. It's all about generating momentum. A lot of times, often, the big plan can be really daunting and scary because we look at it and we go, how can I achieve that? I've got this, I've got that, I've got kids, I got to drop the kids off. You start thinking about all these things and they pile up and they act against you. They start to deter you. They start to slow you down and they throw you off your path. But when you think about that next bold move, you continually realign yourself with your vision. So come on, I want some more shares. These are great. And we've got a little more time.
Mine just runs right into her.
Yeah,
I just
bring
want her
it.
down more. So. It's been something as building a business. I'm having a baby, just let go. And it's time to get back into it. So, and one of the things we are missing here, I would love an LA Fitness. So something similar to
It's
that.
not gonna be Gold or Planet Fitness. It'll be cooler.
Oh,
Even more elevated. Love it. Love it. That's awesome. Thank you.
On the spot, dang.
I know so many of you in this room. There you go. Bring it.
I want to create a way to get myself passive income while still working my job. Something that's meaningful to me.
Yeah, I love that. Making money doing something you love.
Yeah,
That is, you never work a day in your life, right? Once you're
I love my current job, but I want to have something that operates
without you having to be constantly putting all your energy into it. I like that. That's great. We're all. Anybody over here? This side is crushing it. Oh no, you guys. Okay, there we go. For the team.
Callaway. I want to create locally immersive, culturally educational small group travel based on impact and well-being. Emphasis on the small group because I love to connect with people. I also speak multiple languages, so I'm like, how can I share my gifts and love for the world?
Love that.
People. My next step is creating a trip. Period.
Okay. All right, Jerry, I love that. Anybody else from this side? Come on. I know you. Yes. There we go. What do you got?
Personal and business.
Okay, share both. Yeah.
Personally, I run a play, so I just want to book a theater, so I have a deadline. So then I can like line up all
That's cool.
And then my business goal is to start a serious conversation about succession planning and starting retirement.
Say it again about.
Succession planning.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
What to do to kind of get out.
Yeah.
And like to have a plan for retiring, in the retail.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. We got 5 minutes. Go ahead and answer it. Then tell them to share a training. Yeah.
So outside of the Swananoa Resilience Hub, I am a new attorney, and I just built a firm with the mission of providing low-cost sliding scale representation to folks that make a little bit too much money to qualify for legal aid, but they can't afford an attorney full price. And so this is a completely new model. You won't find many attorneys that provide sliding scale, and I mean low. And so it's scary.
This is Lolo.
I'm sorry. Yeah. It's scary because this is a whole new model, and I'm building the bicycle as I ride it. But I know there's a need, there's a gap, and we're gonna try our best to bridge it.
That's a bold. I knew you wanted to share. I could feel the energy. It's just like, share.
My name's Laura, and I'm a financial coach. I'm going to stop avoiding my niche. I've been in the restaurant industry for about 15 years, and there's not a lot of financial education out there for folks outside of the 9 to 5. Not a lot of stability, support, and so that's really where my heart is, to help my people create that for themselves. So,
got time for a couple more? David.
Hey, Reggie, this has to do with my George Massey Foundation and named for the Japanese photographer who was very important here in protecting Race Smoke Mountain National Park and the Appalachian Trail. So I'm the founder, so I'm suffering from founder syndrome, and I need to get out of the way. And what I heard this morning is I am the ceiling, and I have an opportunity to do a 10-time multiplier. So the vision is to really grow this foundation so that we are the international driver catalyst for empowering middle schoolers and high schoolers to engage in conservation, climate innovation, and adaptation, and that West North Carolina is be the hub for that. And I can't do that by myself. So as the founder, it's time for me to do what George Massa said, which was to get off your seats and on your feet. And to, like I heard this morning, get your ass out of your chair and get moving. So 10-time multiplier is where I am with that.
That's awesome. Maybe one more to close this out.
Right here, Reggie.
Where? Yes, yes, hey.
Hey, my name's Christine.
Hey, Christine.
This is part of doing it, is just getting out of my comfort zone, being able to speak in front of others. I want to help adults embrace their creativity through the childlike wonder that the ones experience in the arts. And by doing so, also help the next generation to embrace their gifts versus thinking that they have some sort of disorder. I like the term that it's come out neurodivergent, but I'm also going to argue that we're neuroemergent. And you can quote me on that, it's psyche. It's a term, and it's involving embracing your gifts versus that there's something wrong with you that needs to be fixed.
Yeah. Thank you for those shares. That is very inspiring all the way around. So I want to thank you guys for showing up today and being brave. I want you guys, we have a little bit, looks like we have like 1 minute left. This is a business summit, right? And business summits aren't as effective if you don't make connections, right? So take a moment and like find somebody in the room whose contact you don't have, share contacts, like get to know each other, check in on each other, check in on your big bold moves, like build some relationships and hold each other accountable. Like check in. It's not like you're all, it's not like Alcoholics Anonymous or anything. I tell that's great, but still, sometimes we get off course and sometimes it's good to have someone that helps you be accountable. I've been working out for 2.5 years. I'm 54, okay? And I've never worked out consistently in my whole life until Tim and I started working out together 2.5 years ago. And we rarely miss a day. And so I know how important accountability partners are. So if it feels good to you, exchange some numbers, stay in each other's loop, cheer each other on, inspire each other. And thanks so much for coming today and listening to me. Yeah.